special guest is a fellow from Blue Cross and Blue Shield. I want to tell you that Delaware expects to start a first. It's called an HMO. They're going to break ground in early April for the state's first health maintenance organization, or HMO as it's known. And the center expects to be ready to accept patients in mid-1983. And here to tell us about this Delaware First is Mike Ireland, who's Senior Vice President and Corporate Secretary for Blue Cross and Blue Shield. Hello, Mike.
Hi, Bob. Good to see you.
Good to see you, too. Mike, I want to ask you something. I know the HMO provides comprehensive health care from annual checkups to major surgery and hospitalization. So how does it differ from normal Blue Cross coverage?
Essentially, with an HMO, you go to one site, the HMO, for nearly all your care, where you have a trained team of physicians, nurses, and other healthcare professionals to deliver your total care without going out into the community to seek different physicians and other services.
Mm-hmm. Now, I understand the cost is basically about the same as traditional Blue Cross coverage, so what's the advantage other than just central location?
The advantages are a couple. One is that you get more services for the dollar. The dollar will be about the same as a traditional insurance package, Blue Cross or otherwise, but in fact you'll have a pharmacy on premises, annual checkups and physicals are encouraged, and you'll have less out-of-pocket expense during the year.
Mm-hmm. Now, I understand that studies have shown also that HMO doctors sometimes give better care than general doctors in the community. Do you agree with those studies, and if so, why?
Not really. Where we are on them is that the HMO will deliver the same quality of care as the traditional medical community. We have the same type of reviews, physicians working with physicians, and the care should be no worse, no better. And in fact, we'll be using our best efforts to retain some of Delaware's best physicians to be employed by the HMO.
Mm-hmm. Now, the Delaware HMO is going to have all doctors in one location, but I understand in other states it can be structured so that doctors can work out of their own offices, too. Wouldn't that have been more convenient for Delawareans?
As we've looked at the HMOs around the country, and there's HMOs in over 37 states, the ones that have been most successful have been the so-called closed panel HMOs, where the physicians are on salary to the HMO, and that is their sole line of business. They are dedicated to the patients at the HMO.
What about the medical community? Do you find them to be supportive or critical?
I think we've had mixed reactions from the medical community. We have had a number of doctors who would like to be employed by the HMO, and during the hearing process we had a few of the doctors with whom the HMO will compete give some competitive type statements where they disagreed with the concept of the HMO. We think in the long run they'll find it as acceptable as the patients will.
Now, it's going to be located in Stanton, is that correct?
Correct, across the street from the Southwest Division of the Wilmington Medical Center.
What are the benefits from being located there?
In the demographic and the marketing surveys we did, that seemed to be the most central location in Newcastle County, with the road systems and all, for the most people to belong to the HMO. We also did some zip code telephone surveys and found the greatest interest with people within 15 to 20 minutes of the HMO located at Stanton.
Well, there's a lot of other development going on there now, too, in that area, too.
Yeah, it seems to be a rather booming metropolis right now. A number of companies are constructing headquarters out there. The Delaware Technical Community College is a stone's throw away, and obviously Christiana Mall.
Mm-hmm. Well, are there any plans ever to expand and do perhaps an HMO in the Brainerd 100 Claymont area?
We're building this HMO to house approximately 35,000 members. That will be its maximum. At the point that we begin to approach that number, we will look north of the city, in the city, the Claymont area, and determine which would be the most appropriate for a second, a third, and hopefully, if it goes well, a fourth.
Mm-hmm. Well, why is Blue Cross getting into an HMO business? I know elsewhere the HMOs are independent of Blue Crosses.
They're about mixed throughout the country. 50% are either connected with a Blue Cross or an insurance company, or the other 50% independent. We feel that it offers our customers a choice. The HMO, we will approach an employer and say, give your employees a choice between a traditional insurance package and the HMO. Let them select. And we think that'll be a benefit to our customers and a benefit to the employees.
Mm-hmm. Now, you mentioned employers. I understand the way you're going to structure sales is through group plans through employers starting in October of this year, is that correct?
Yes, we'll begin to approach customers, bring them up to date on what an HMO is, what our HMO is like, and provide them with a significant time period to evaluate the decision. We don't want anyone to make a fast decision on the HMO. It's different. We want all their questions to be answered and then make knowing decisions to join.
Can an individual join an HMO?
Initially, we're going to our employer market. As the HMO gets up on its feet and we've approached all of our employers, we'll go to our direct pay customers.
Well, isn't the location a little difficult for the elderly? I mean, you're not within walking distance of an urban area where you might have a lot of elderly people.
It is to a certain degree. However, the medical center with Plan Omega litigation indicated that they would be working on transportation to their site. There are obvious sharings that could go on with the medical center and some kind of transportation system. Additionally, as we've talked about the boom in the area, so as soon as there's sufficient employees and need to go out to that location, we're fairly convinced that DART will look into running a bus line out that way from a number of places.
Now, I understand on the grounds the blood bank may join you, and are you going to have some jogging paths and so forth?
Yeah, we've constructed a number of life courses around the state, and we thought the HMO would be a nice place to have another life course, which is essentially a run or walk experience with certain exercises, since the only way healthcare costs are ever going to be controlled is if we all start to try to have healthier lifestyles.
Well, that sounds very nice. Mike Ireland, thanks for coming on Focus Delaware and telling us about the HMO. You viewers, this may be an excellent chance for you to save on future medical costs, and I invite you to contact Mike Ireland and his staff at Blue Cross and Blue Shield if you should like additional information.